Guys, so just getting ready to start the stream, and I have Eric and Jonas on from Focustronic, and they got some pretty cool new products I think you guys are going to like. We're going to start out, actually a quick overview. The Focustronic is actually a really new kind of innovative light, and the whole puck moves throughout the day, so every hour you can tell the different angle of your light, so it can really eliminate shadows and other kind of cool features. And we also have the Alkatronic, which is a new type of alkalinity monitor. What's going on, Phil? What's going on, Dr. Magic in the chat? So we're gonna start the Alkatronic just because I know poor Jonas is about 3 a.m. for him, so I don't want him to be up all night. So Jonas, welcome. Thank you for being on the stream so late in the evening. I appreciate you guys coming on.
Thank you. I mean, it's a great experience. It's our first time.
Excellent. First time on the stream. Well, welcome guys, and definitely appreciate you guys taking time to come on. A couple of questions. So I'm just gonna start making a list of questions. To start out, so from my understanding, this was kind of a DIY project that you guys started with, and you turned it into a company. So how did this all start out, Jonas? Or how did you come up with the idea to start building an elk monitor?
Yes, for me, I am a reefer since 25 years back, and my main interest has always been the biochemistry, and so I have always been very interested in building an alkalinity monitor. And there have been lacking of these devices on the market until years ago. So I decided to actually build one myself. And I did a prototype, and it worked surprisingly well. So I posted that on internet, and Eric saw that and catch me and called me.
Nice.
And that is a very lucky start, I think.
So it started out as a DIY kind of project. Eric
Yeah.
caught wind of it, and he's like, "Oh, this is great. Let's turn it into something bigger." And then that's kind of how you guys ended up starting connecting. Or how'd you guys? Is that how you met in the first place?
Yeah, I mean, I saw his thread. I mean, all of a sudden, like when I was reading off R2R,
Mm-hmm.
and I basically I just did a wild shot and sent him a message and say, hey, do you want to do this together?
Mm-hmm. Nice.
And then after like 2 days, no, actually he responded quite quickly and said, I'll reply you in 2 days. And then 2 days later, he came and said, yeah, we should do this together. And then we have like instantaneous trust between each other. And then he sent me the design off the bat. And I can just walk away with the whole design and not talk to him again.
Nice. No, that's good. So it sounds like it's been a pretty good relationship between you guys so far, and it looks like it's going to be a pretty neat product. So, Jonas, so how long have you actually been working on this and developing it? Kind of before you started to bring it to market or using it on your own side, kind of like on the reefer hobbyist side of it?
1 year, you can say. 1 year I started seriously with it, but I had some thoughts about it maybe 18 months ago. But I started seriously last summer.
Oh, excellent. And so, from my understanding, it's supposed to come out in December. It's almost ready for market.
Yes. We are heading for the end of the December.
Oh, excellent. That's pretty exciting. It's getting pretty close.
Yes. We have worked very much the last time. The work is accelerating now when we are heading the launching process.
Nice. So, has there been any biggest hurdles trying to develop this? Like, what was the hardest part for you to come up with your own alkalinity monitor?
I think for me as the designer, it's actually both the software and hardware because it's attention to details. The ground principles is acid filtration, and that is not a secret or a rocket science. That is not the new thing. All machines based on the same principles because the difficult thing is to put this together in a machine with high accuracy and precision, and that is the difficult part.
Mm-hmm.
So that has been the difficult part, but we have sold it after a while, and now we are very satisfied with the results.
Oh, excellent. So, like I know most home-based kits, they test alkalinity with the titration test, and it goes by the color of when it changes for the most part. Now, this uses a pH probe, correct? So it uses it to see when the pH changes to know it, rather than looking at color or a visual kind of thing. So in theory, it's a lot more accurate.
Well, the the color change is always also based on the same principle. You have to look at a certain pH.
Hmm.
But we believe that the pH electrode is more safe and stable because that's a reliable technique we use, which already exists. And we have found that the pH electrode is extremely stable and reliable. So we are happy to use that method and not the color shift method.
No, excellent. So they're asking in the chat, is the pH probe more accurate?
What did you say? The pH?
Yeah, in the chats, Nick was just asking, so is the pH probe the more accurate way of testing?
The pH probe is not so crucial. We have a very accurate and fast responsive pH electrode, but there are some other things in our machine which makes this pH electrode not so crucial. So we can actually have some error in the pH electrode,
Okay.
and despite that, got high precision of the DKH results.
No, excellent. Now, for the actual build of it too, so you have stepper motors as well as DC motors inside, correct?
Yes.
Okay, excellent. And then now, is there any type of maintenance that you need to do on them, or how long are the motors intended to last before you got to service it or retune it? Like, what?
The services is basically only to change the hoses inside the motors, the peristaltic pump heads. And that hoses will be changed every 6 months for 2 of them and every 12 months for 2 of them. That is basically the service part.
Okay, excellent. That doesn't sound too bad. And then for the pH probe, how often does that need to be recalibrated?
The pH probe, concerning to our supplier of the pH probe, they say calibration every year.
Mhm.
It sounds almost too good, so we will say every 6 months on the short side.
Okay, excellent. Oh, thanks for
But
that.
I have run my pH electrode almost a year now, and I only calibrated it twice.
Oh,
It
excellent.
takes 5 minutes to calibrate.
Yep. So your tank's obviously running well with it.
That's I think it's well doing my tank.
Okay. No, excellent. I know the other question that's going to come up quite a bit is how much does the reagents cost? How long do they last?
Yeah. Our machine takes around 80 milliliters of the reagent for one measure.
Mm-hmm.
And if you measures doing 6 measures a day, which is quite often, and we recommend that, 1 liter will last around 4 weeks.
Okay. Now, if someone wanted, could they say test half that time or twice a day and postpone it over a couple months?
But once again,
If someone wanted to say test twice a day instead of 6 times, would the reagent go bad, or could they span it out over a few months?
yes, you can test 2 tests a day as the minimum,
Okay.
and yes, you can choose that between 1 and 12 hours between every test.
Okay, excellent. And the other question was, how much tank water and wastewater does it use per test?
50 milliliters for one test.
50 milliliters? Okay, perfect. And how frequent are the tests? So that's between 1 and 12 tests is kind of the range you can pick from. Now, Christopher Williams had a question about how it interfaces with a calcium reactor. So from my understanding when I was reading it, you guys also have an outlet that you can control through it. So that would control your calcium
Yes,
reactors solenoid.
one of our benefits is that we include a socket so we can also control DKH deviation upward. For instance, you can put the water feeding motor to the calcium reactor to our socket. And if the DKH is above your settled reference value, you will shut off the feeding motor to the calcium reactor, and thus in that way stop inducing alkalinity to the tank.
Okay, excellent. So there's another question. What's the precision level of the elk monitor?
We have both precision and accuracy of 0.05 DKH.
Okay, excellent. No, that's pretty good. Thank you.
That is maybe that part I have worked most on to get that and get the reliability and the precision, because it's a variation which maybe is the most important, I think, concerning alkalinity.
Mm-hmm. Oh, definitely. And then how would it interface into, so for the balling method or dosing pumps, how does that interface to
The
control your
dosing
alkalinity?
pump, the dosing pump is included in these standalone units. We have everything in same box, and that is the same as the socket. It will kick in and dose carbonate if you go below your settled reference value. You have two reference value. You set one high and one low.
Mm-hmm.
And if you go below the low, it doses.
Oh, okay, excellent. So it has a dosing pump built right in, so you don't even need an external one?
You don't need an extra one. Everything is included in the machine.
Oh, excellent. That's actually pretty nice because I know a lot of the other ones on the market, you have to have a separate dosing pump. So that's kind of a nice feature.
Yes, we believe in the standalone unit everything. You don't have to buy other units
Mm-hmm.
beside. Everything is complete.
Oh, excellent. No, that's really good. So on that point, how else would you say it kind of compares to some of the other ones? Like, I know Neptune has a Triton, I know there's a Cage Guardian and a few of those. How would you say the Alkatronic compares to the other ones?
Well, we think we have some strength and benefits that we have the standalone unit, as we said, with everything in one piece, and we can also control upwards with a socket that
Mm-hmm.
we are alone with, and we also have this precision and accuracy, and that figure varies if you look at other competitors.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe also we have unique have the dedicated app for iPhone and Android. We will also do.
No, excellent. I was okay. The question in the chat ask if is there two different ones because I know one does not come with a doser.
No, but we have only one. Every Alkatronic has a doser inside.
Okay, excellent. No, that's definitely a nice feature.
Yeah, you can. Eric can maybe show here. You see four pumps in the picture now,
Yep.
and the lower one there is the carbonate dosing pump.
Excellent. Nice. No, it's definitely nice to have it all built in so you don't have to buy any extra parts. So that's good to hear.
And one of the reasons is that we believe that if you measure, but you can't um, only measure, but you can't do anything. So we think we lose a little of the point to measure. We want the safe belt.
Mm-hmm.
Also, the safety thing is very important.
No, I agree. You could definitely want to make sure you have all those safeties in place. Do you get a probe holder and dosing pipe holders with the unit? That's one of the
Uh,
questions in
the
the chat.
uh, the probe holder.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, the probe holder is inside the machine. Everything we have a special design probe holder for everything.
Okay. So you plug it in and you just have a couple lines coming out. So I'm assuming you got your one for your tank water, one for wastewater, and then for if you're dosing alkalinity, you'll have a line in and out for that.
Yes, we have very smooth lure locks on the left side, 5 lure locks. You can very easily attach and detach the hoses.
Okay.
From, yeah,
Excellent. So it looks like Eric's showing the app on an iPad right now.
yeah. Here's the screenshot from
Right.
app.
And then you get a whole table of the history.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, you can ignore the test points because we are doing tests in the office. So one of them I purposely make it to be a really low value.
Okay.
Otherwise, the graph will be more, even.
Mm-hmm.
And here you are, the settings, basic settings, your tank volume, the measure interval, and high-low reference values. And then we have two very good features, which is the action mode and the washout mode. And the action mode is so that when you first get the machine or when you first do a water change, you probably have some fluctuations in the measurements. And then you don't want to dose anything or you don't want to shut off the calcium reactor.
Okay. Excellent.
And then the washout mode is also the same. I mean, when you first get a machine for the first time, when you set it up, the measurements will probably get accurate after 2 or 3 measures, so that everything is run in. And so you want to remove the washout mode so that it doesn't do like multiple tests to confirm the accuracy.
Okay. Excellent.
And the Wi-Fi password allows you to connect to your home router
Mm-hmm.
so that you can get onto the cloud And there's one feature that we're going to add is the disable the auto update for the firmware. Right now, we can do an auto update through the cloud, so it's really easy. The other one is the Bluetooth plug, so that controls the calcium reactor.
Okay.
I'm not sure if the screen's right because my video is a bit lagged on the YouTube.
Yeah, it's a little hard to see, but I can kind of see it. So
Okay.
I'll.
So the other bottom ones are the firmware versions and the app versions. And then in right here, this is better because right there we have 4 pumps. That is to prime the hoses, so to pump all the air out. And this button allows you to test the accuracy of the pumps, and and also the bottom one will let you do the pH not calibration, also to test the pH probe if it's any being drifted. And then the first button is the calibration, where you do all the calibration for the pumps and the pH probe.
Okay, excellent. Thank you for that. Couple of questions in the chat just before I completely lose them scrolling by. Does the app track how much alkalinity it doses?
Yes, it does. Let me show you that.
Okay.
In one of these, let me see. There we are. It does 30 mil and 30.7 mil in that measure.
Excellent. Okay. Perfect. Thank you for that.
And I can mention something about the alkalinity dosing. We have an algorithm which makes the increase of the alkalinity in a smooth way. The machine will not always do everything at the same time to avoid a too rapid increase in the alkalinity. Taking that in account in the algorithm. So if you, for instance, lack 0.5 alkalinity, the machine will do 0.25 in first, and then measure a little more often, and doses in a smooth way, so you will at least come up to the end point.
Okay, excellent. No, that's a nice way of hearing about it. So another question. So this works with two-part dosing as well. Where does the wastewater go?
Wastewater go to a canister you have beside, which you arrange yourself. We are not letting the wastewater go back to the aquarium. Don't believe in that. We don't want it back to the aquarium, of course.
Okay, no, sounds safer for the tank.
Yes.
So someone
I
asked.
saw,
Oh, sorry.
yeah, sorry. I saw a question about dosing Triton.
Yes, so they're asking if it can be set up to dose with the Triton method.
Yeah, we'll be coming up with a new product. I mean, to work with the Alkatronic. It's a 4-head dosing pump, so that you can set up the Triton dosing schedule.
Okay, excellent. And that's going to interface and plug into the Alkatronic?
Yes, and the Alkatronic right now, when it's being released in December, is going to be ready for that product.
Okay, excellent. Well, it sounds like you guys got lots of great things in the works.
Thank you.
They're asking about the Focustronic website. So, yep, it's on that website. Both products are on there if you go under products, and I posted that link in the chat. So Aquarium Cabinet Solutions, what is the deviant/accuracy? And I believe that was 0.05.
0.05.
Yeah.
So if the chat has been scrolling by pretty quick. If I did miss any questions that I didn't ask yet, just be sure to ask it again, and I'll bring that one up.
I have one small comment, if it's okay, concerning the dosing part. I got quite always open the question of the Triton method core 7. There are several concentrations of carbonate solution in the market, and we will have a software update where the user can adjust that to every concentration you actually can have. So the machine will, so you can also use Triton core 7 method. It's no problem.
Excellent. So all you Triton guys should be happy. Perfect. So I think I covered everyone's questions. So if you guys do want to check it out, I'll just put the link again. I'll put it in the video description after, but focustronic.net. And if you go under products, it has the Alkatronic on there. Products, equipment, and then you can see it from there. Alkatronic's on Facebook's good for updates. Yep, good point, Daniel. Thank you. Perfect. Well, if you don't have any other Alkatronic questions, I think we might let you get a little bit of sleep tonight. I know it's about 3:20, 3:30 in the morning for you, Johannes.
Thank you very much.
So, yeah, thank you very much for taking time to come on.
Thank you for participating.
Thanks.
Yep. See you guys.
Okay, see you. Now, Eric.
Right.
Next, so we also have the other one I want to talk about is the Focus One LED light, which is actually, it's a pretty cool new design where the head of the light actually rotates and will kind of sweep across your tank, and every hour you can change the degree and angle of it, which has some kind of, oh, sorry, there we go. So let me make you full screen. Perfect. All right, there we go. Got it all rearranged. Okay, thanks, Eric.
Okay.
All good and made. Do we know what the price point will be on the Alkatronic? I believe it's somewhere between $700 and $800. Correct me if I'm wrong. On the
Yes, correct. Right now we're having a special offer. It's about $799, $800.
okay, and that's kind of a pre-order special.
Yes, and we are including a bottle of free reagent together with it.
Okay,
So
excellent.
you can have a reagent from the start.
Perfect. And actually, quick question on that one. How long did the reagent last? You said it was about a month, correct? I believe you said.
Yes.
And that was,
With I mean the correct concentration, it lasts about 1 month for 1 liter.
okay.
But we're putting up a new product. I mean that's a concentrated reagent
Mm-hmm.
for 4 liters,
Okay.
and you can actually get 20 usable liters
Oh, excellent.
out of that concentration, and so that basically one bottle of that will last you almost a year.
Oh, wow. That'll be really nice. Excellent.
Yeah.
Perfect. So that'll be an exciting one to come out. Just out of curiosity, do you have like a guess of the price for that will be for the
You
larger?
mean the
For
larger one, the concentrated
yep.
one? We're expecting to be about $110.
Okay, perfect. So $110 for a year of testing.
Yes,
That's not bad at all.
and
Okay.
that works out to probably less than $10 a month,
Yep.
to be honest.
Nope, that's really good. So how much is it without the special offer? I believe it was $100 more.
You mean the Alkatronic?
Yes.
Yes, correct.
Okay. Excellent.
So catch it when it's still available, because
Mhm.
otherwise the pre-order is gonna stop by end of the October.
Okay, perfect. Thanks for that. So there you go, guys. If you guys are interested, jump on there. Now, so I see you have one of the Focus ones on your tank. So
Yeah, I'm trying to fit the screen to it.
actually, here, let me shrink it a little bit so I get a little more in there. There we go. So with the Focus One, so this is your baby. So when did you come up, or how did you come up with the idea to have a rotating LED and have the head shift to move throughout the day?
Yeah, let me give you guys a bit of a background. I mean, before I started Focustronic, we are actually a brand of the architectural lighting,
Mhm.
which we supply to major hotels around the world. And I mean, during that time, I actually did some distribution of light poles in my area. And then all of a sudden, I was using metal halide and T5s at that time. And then all of a sudden, I thought, oh, LED is now a pretty stable light source for corals, and it has been proven that it works and it can sustain and color up colors. So I thought with LEDs being in such a small size, we can actually make it rotate to mimic the sun's travel. And then I started that design probably about 3 years ago, actually, 3 years ago. And then we did it like quite slowly, but we got there. And then finally this year we are ready to release the Focus One.
Oh, excellent. So, so you started the architectural, and then you kind of bridged over to the aquarium hobby.
Yep.
So have you been in the hobby for a while? Like, would you partially do this for your own tank, or was it just kind of like a product idea? How did that come up?
Actually, I mean, I wasn't like Jonas. I wasn't going to do it for with a DIY project,
Mm-hmm.
but I had in mind that we're going to make this product and put this into the public for people to buy.
Mm-hmm.
And but then the design got a little longer than expected. We were actually expecting to release it about, let's say, 2014 or 15,
Oh
but
wow. Okay.
finally we got ready until 2017.
Nice. So what were some of the hurdles in trying to bring this idea to market?
I mean, the hurdles would be, I mean, hit the how to cool the product, because the case itself is all, I mean, sealed so that
Mm-hmm.
we don't get any water issues. But at the same time, the electronics may get quite hot,
Mm-hmm.
so we need to solve that. And also the rotation. I mean, we want to be as accurate as possible. So the biggest hurdle, would be to do the calibration every day automatically
Mm-hmm.
within the software.
Oh, that's neat. Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, excellent. So with this, so with what it in your eyes, or what are all the benefits of being able to rotate the light and hit your corals and stuff with different angles of light throughout the day?
Oh, there's quite a number, to be honest. Initially, my real objective when we started was to make a kind of a more natural sunrise and sunset effect. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
that's really my initial goal. But during the process, we found out there's actually much more benefits to the natural visual visual aspect.
Mm-hmm.
Is that, I mean, with LEDs, it's being so directional. You only have a single or probably two sweet spot
Mm-hmm.
per fixture of conventional LED light. And with the rotating angle, you can actually get multiple sweet spots,
Mm-hmm.
so that we also understand that many users of conventional LEDs products, they kind of tune down their overall output to be relatively lower than
Mm-hmm.
the maximum, because if it's being set too high, it may probably bleach and burn the corals.
Yeah.
And but then with the rotating angle, I mean, throughout the day, you can probably punch out more power
Mm-hmm.
to color up the corals easier, and without burning the coral itself.
Okay. So basically, you can give it more intense light, but you're giving it a shorter period of time because it's shifting slowly through the tank.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, one kind of question: if somebody's new in setting this up, so with most, if you have normal LEDs where they're only going direct straight down on top of the corals, I know
Yeah.
the one issue for some is like there could be shadowing, or there could be, parts of the bottom of the coral that's not getting light. Where with this, you could potentially be hitting it from an angle and lighting some of those spots that normally don't see light. So if you
Yes.
were trying from a different LED, would you want to turn it down a bit so you're kind of easing those bases of the corals into getting light because they may have not seen light in a long time, or at least not directly?
Oh, yeah. Yes. Actually, we have the overall intensity, so that you can kind of ramp it up over the weeks
Mm-hmm.
slowly.
Okay.
But actually, when you start using the Focus One, I mean, originally when you use maybe other brands where
Mm-hmm.
you don't get a dynamic light source, I mean, those dark areas, you won't probably put any cores because they don't really get any lights.
Mm-hmm.
But then after you start using Focus One with the rotating head, you can start actually make use of spaces where you originally weren't using for core.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you can probably keep more cores in the same tank
Okay.
than before.
Yeah, places where they previously be shadowed.
Right, correct.
Now, how does it work with like kind of like the light refraction hitting the light hitting the water at different angles?
Oh yeah, I mean the maximum degree
Mm-hmm.
in each side will be 24 degrees,
Okay.
and that is way below the threshold for actually losing a significant amount of light. You need to reach about like 45 degrees angle
Mm-hmm.
to start really getting a significant loss. But
Okay.
at 24 degrees, you probably lose about less than 5% of light.
Okay, that's not bad at all. And what's the percentage of loss when you're going straight down? Like, do you get more loss straight down or an angle? Like, how does that affect it?
At the angle, you get a bit more loss, but as
Mm-hmm.
I said, with the maximum degree, like 24 degrees,
Mm-hmm.
you get like maybe 3% less, or even less than that.
Okay, so it's very, very minimal.
very, very minimal. And we're punching out like over 1,000 parts
Okay.
at 12 inches.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, 3% of 1,000 parts is like nothing to really worry about.
Yeah, that's not a big one. Excellent. Now, so you can adjust so how is it every hour you can adjust the degree?
Yes, the motors is supposed to move every hour
Mm-hmm.
by about 4 degrees.
Okay.
And if you want, you can actually make it skip a position, or you can make it stay in that position for several hours. So you just basically adjust the angles for those hours to be the same degree, then it stays there. Or you can actually move it a bit further than one step, like 4 degrees.
Okay, excellent. So Michael, actually in the comment, he's just been saying he's been able to light corals under overhangs. So that's actually pretty neat. So it does give you a lot more opportunity to play stuff where you normally wouldn't. So that's kind of neat to see.
Yeah, I mean, one of comment that Jake Adams had is that like you're able to use more real estate of your tank instead of the conventional LED or metal halides.
No, exactly. No, so that's pretty cool. Now I know with a lot of lights too, they'll reflect off the glass. So in theory, you'd probably get a lot more bounce back off the glass as well, the different areas that normally you wouldn't with all the different angles of light coming in.
Yes, correct.
Yeah. No, excellent. So for somebody that was new setting them up, is there any special considerations you'd tell them to take to acclimate their tank to the new kind of light that's more dynamic?
Yes, actually, not to really to acclimate, but also to how to use it, because this is like the first product of a dynamic light source.
Mm-hmm.
So depending on your own schedule, I mean, if you're home most of the time, then you probably want to see a realistic sunrise sunset effect.
Yeah.
Then you probably leave the angles as default,
Mm-hmm.
so that in the middle of the day, like noon time, 12 o'clock, it will go straight down.
Okay.
But then it will start from the east to the west, if you will,
Mm-hmm.
and then start to dim down during the night. But if you have a working schedule like most of us, and you want to come home to a tank with an evenly lit tank, you can make use of the hours where you're not at home to do all the rotational effects, so that the corals benefits from it. But then when you come home, the motors can move it back into the center position for even view of the system.
Oh, excellent. Next question: how quickly does it move?
It moves, as I said, it moves like 4 degrees per hour.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, it moves from one position to the other position in less than 1 or 2 seconds.
Okay, so it's very very small little tweak every hour. Okay.
Right.
Another question: can you adjust the intensity as it rotates?
Yes. Each hour is split up into 6 sections. So every 10 minutes there is a update on the intensity.
Mm-hmm.
So, but then the rotational starts at every hour.
Okay, so every hour on the hour is kind of when it will start to do its move.
Yes, correct. And then within the hour, it will slowly change the intensity, whether it goes up or goes down between the 2 hours.
Excellent. So one of them's asking, I wonder if this would be good for my Nano. The biggest problem always has been shading, but the tank's only 19 by 19.
Yeah, you can see in the background, that's my own Nano tank.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest, the light is a bit overkill for Nano, but since I'm making it, I don't really mind, and actually it's quite good.
Mm-hmm.
But the only drawback in the back of me is that my Nano is only 1 foot deep,
Mm-hmm.
so front to back, so that I can't really hang it correctly. So I'm hanging it sideways.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, nice. Now, what's the spread of the light? So how, I believe it was 12 inches you recommended mounting off the water. What kind of spread to depth do you get from the light?
Oh, at that height, about 12 inches off the water, probably with a 20-inch deep tank,
Mm-hmm.
you can probably have a spread of about 30 by 30
30 by 30?
inches.
Okay.
Yeah.
So on average, you'd say one light can do every 2.5 to 3 feet?
Yeah.
Okay, no, excellent.
Because in the office, I have a 5-foot tank, and originally I used 2 lights, and it's well covered.
Mm-hmm. Okay, excellent. So what about the motor? Like, what's kind of the lifetime? Is there any worries about having to replace it, or how long is that kind of spec to last?
Well, the motors is supposed to last for several years, I mean, or even more. But
Mm-hmm.
because the good thing is that, I mean, the product will move every day
Yep.
and at a slow speed.
Mm-hmm.
And so that nothing is going to get jammed. If for example, if a motor is not being used for a long time, it might be jammed some way.
Mm-hmm.
But then we're using it every day and at a very slow speed.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, we're moving it every hour, to be honest. And it should help the motor to last much longer.
Okay, excellent. And is that really not getting that much use? It's only on for a couple seconds an hour or so.
Right, correct.
No, it seems like a pretty cool product. Now, for mounting options, it also looked like it works with a bunch of other companies' mounts, and there's pretty flexible on how you actually attach it.
Yes, that's how we designed the product. Is because I mean, me as a reaver
Mm-hmm.
before I started for Focustronic, like for every light you buy, basically you need to buy the new mountings,
Mm-hmm.
which can get quite expensive, like almost $100 each.
Mm-hmm.
And with the Focustronic, we're able to actually mount them with. I'm not sure if I can name the other brands, but
A few
but
of the
many
popular brands. Okay.
yeah, a few of the popular brands.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't like mountings from those brands, you can actually just buy two rails,
Mm-hmm.
or and then you can, because we include the screws, and then you can buy the rails and just slide the rails over the screws and start hanging them from the ceiling.
Okay, excellent. How much did the
Yeah.
lights weigh? I believe it was about 2 kilograms.
Yes, it's about 2 kilograms.
Okay. And they're also asking how loud are the motors?
Oh, it's really you can't really notice it. As I said, it moves like for 1 or 2 seconds every hour,
Mm-hmm.
and actually, we probably a video will be uploaded very soon
Okay.
by inappropriate Reba. He came to visit us last week, and he like put the camera right next to the right next
Mm-hmm.
to the light to try to see how noisy it is, and he said it's not really noisy.
Okay, excellent.
I mean, probably the noise will be covered by the water sound. I mean, by the currents.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so it was very quiet. The weight that I think I just asked that one, but I believe it was 2 kilograms.
Yeah.
And what's the warranty length on the lights?
Right now it's 1 year, 12
Okay.
months. Yeah.
There's a question: is it Apex compatible?
I wanted to, but I haven't got the reply.
Okay, so possibly in the future, but not yet.
Yes.
Okay, and then so far, you guys have your own app, the iOS app.
Actually, yeah, sorry,
Yep.
Devin. I actually like to elaborate a bit more on the Apex compatibility.
Okay.
Uh, to be honest, I don't really understand why. I mean, because you only set up the lights like once or twice, and then
Mm-hmm.
you just leave it. And then what is the as a reaver? Because I don't use Apex myself,
Mm-hmm.
so what is the benefit of being Apex compatible? It's just that you open one less app. Is that like the real
Probably.
benefit?
Yeah. Let me know if you want any more expansion on that question, CJ. So I did download the app. I mean, I don't exactly have a light in front of me, but I downloaded the app this morning just to kind of play with it a bit. So it does look pretty good. You did say you have an Android one as well coming out in the future for those Android folks.
Yes, the Android version is coming out in November, so it's pretty quick, pretty soon.
Okay, excellent. And now, are your lights, are they on the market now or are they coming out soon?
Yes, they are in the market, but we're starting to slowly, I mean, set up distribution channels.
Mm-hmm.
But for the states, you can get them from several shops. One of them is Reef Pets.
Okay,
One of them is Elegant Corals,
excellent.
and there's a couple more in the talks, but nothing finalized yet. But again, you can order it directly from our website.
Okay, excellent. And what's the current price on the lighting?
We finished the special offer about a month ago.
Okay.
Right now, they're offering at about 738.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
So 738. Uh, I'm just scrolling through the website right now. So you do sell a bunch of the mounting on there. And if someone wants to mount it themselves, there's just a plate with screw holes on the top, correct? And you said it does come with the mounting screws?
Yes, correct.
Okay. Excellent. Again, as always, guys, if I missed any of your questions, just please ask them again. Sometimes it's kind of scrolls by pretty quick.
Yeah, I saw Aquarium Cabinet Solutions.
Yep.
He elaborated a bit more on the Apex compatible.
Oh, there you go.
issue.
Thanks.
Yeah.
So
Thank you, Nick.
if you make it Apex compatible, you can sync it with wave makers, ramp it up and down within the Apex.
Oh, while we're on that topic, actually, in the long run, probably end of the year or so, we're going to make the Focus one to be linked up with the Alkatronic.
Okay.
So that because in one of video, I mean earlier from Dana Riddle from BRS,
Mhm.
and he mentioned that lighting is kind of pretty much related with the alkalinity. The higher alkalinity in your tank, the
Mhm.
less light it needs for maximizing photosynthesis.
It's good to know.
Yep.
Oh, that's very cool. That's never would have considered that.
So the two product match quite nicely.
Mhm. No, that's very cool. So Michael Walker's asking, what is the beam angle and is it using diffusers?
Sorry, I didn't get that.
What is the beam angle? So I'm guessing like the angle of light coming out of the LEDs, and is it using a diffuser?
Yes, we have a specially designed lens. Really, we've minimized a lot of the disco effect in common LEDs.
Mm-hmm.
And the beam angle is approximately, I think, about. Sorry, I'm just trying to get my head around. It's about 80 degrees.
80 degrees? Okay, excellent.
Yeah.
And it does
But
have it.
don't forget that 80 degrees. You're still rotating it, so you're
Yep.
getting much wider than 80 degrees.
No, exactly. Okay. No, that's perfect. Got for that. And it does have a diffuser plate, and you said that does help kind of eliminate the disco effect you were saying.
Yes.
Okay,
And
excellent.
the color mixing is pretty good, I would say.
Excellent. And so there's 7 different colors of LEDs on there, right?
Right, there's 7 colors, 8 whites, I mean cool whites, 2 warm whites, 2 reds, 2 blues. I mean, sorry, 2 reds, 2 greens,
Mhm.
4 blues, 4 raw blues, and 4 near UVs.
Okay, excellent. Does the Focustronic have built-in Wi-Fi, or do you need anything extra to get the app to work?
Oh, that's a good question. I should have mentioned that earlier. Yes, it's a built-in Wi-Fi
Okay.
and already ready to use a master and slave feature.
Mm-hmm. So if you have multiple lights, you just connect to one of them, and then it will control all 4 with the master and slave.
Yes, correct.
Okay, excellent. Tandem microphone.
Aquarium Cabinet Solutions. Yes, the Android is coming out very soon, in less than a month.
Excellent. Yeah, so I was playing with the app. I don't know if it's still on here, but I downloaded it this morning and was playing with it, trying to program my imaginary lights. But no, it looks pretty good. There's a bunch of built-in profiles. It looks like it makes it pretty easy to start out. Focustronic.
Yeah.
So, show you guys. I don't know if this will actually show up on the camera. Not overly, but you can control your focus points with each light at each interpoint throughout the day. So it's kind of nice. It allows you to tweak your own percentages and kind of play with it. Take the pre-made ones or make your own schedule off of that. Excellent. All right, guys. Any other questions in the chat? So built-in Wi-Fi, so there's no extra add-ons. You buy the light, it's standalone. If you get a second one, you can link it up as a slave light, and it will take on the same settings as the first one, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Excellent. So just checking, guys. Let me know if you have any other last questions in the comments. I know it's extra early for you as well this morning, Eric, so I appreciate the both of you guys waking up or staying up far too late and getting up far too early to make this happen.
No problem. We're being a multinational.
Yeah, exactly. 3 different time zones in one.
Right.
All right, so I think I've answered everything. So I just want to thank you again for coming on, and I think it's a really cool new product. I'm excited to dig more into this. Actually,
Yeah, thank you, Devin.
oh, we got one more quick question. When using lightning mode, I've only seen the light flash at any one time.
Yes.
Why is this?
Uh, Michael's lights, they probably need a software update.
Okay.
We have resolved that issue.
Oh, there you go, Michael. Firmware update.
Yeah, I'll PM him shortly
Okay,
about that.
excellent. Can they do a firmware update? Do you do it through the app, or do you connect the light first via USB, or how does that work?
Oh, there's a USB port
Okay.
where you connect it to your computer,
Okay.
and then do the Wi-Fi through the USB.
Excellent.
I mean, do the upgrade through the USB. Sorry.
Yeah, one light flash. We did say that. Okay. Christopher, what happens if the light falls in the water? That's a terrible idea with any electronics. I will not advise that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I don't think any lights have hope of falling in the water, so. uh, what happens if it falls in the water? Probably trouble. So they have a USB port on it and power, so yeah. And perfect. All right. I think I hopefully got everything now. So thank you again, Eric, for your time and for coming on.
Thank
If
you,
you
Devin.
guys have any questions, let me know. Maybe we can do a follow-up one until later.
Yep,
Okay.
perfect.
Thanks so much, Eric.
Thank you. Thank
Okay.
you, guys.
Have a
Thank you,
great day.
Devin.
Thanks, everybody.
Yep. Bye bye.